What's up, guys? Welcome to PelviBiz Podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Alhooie. Today, I'm going to talk about dream luxury vacations. And you're probably thinking, what the heck does this have to do with pelvic health? But it has a lot to do with it. The other day, I polled you guys on Instagram and I said, what's your biggest dream? And there was 3 things that came about. The first one was most people said luxury travel. That's what they wanted to do. The second one was being able to have any amount of time that they wanted. And the third one was to build a practice. And it really had me thinking that most people try to save to take one luxury vacation, maybe their entire life. And this kind of hits home because, I grew up with a single mom, 3 kids. And about 6 years ago, she took us to Italy, my sister and I. It was a girls' trip, so fun. She took us to Italy. In 7 days, we hit like 7 different locations, including the Amalfi Coast. And it was the first time I was ever out of the country. And mind you, I'm almost 40 years old. Because I just didn't have the luxury to travel or ever have any extra money. My family just never had that, nor did I, because I just didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know how to do it. And so it really had me thinking, I really should do a podcast breaking down how to do luxury travel so that people can live out their dreams. Because for me, that's what makes me most excited. When you all hit your dreams, it just lights me up and makes me want to keep going and pushing harder because I just know how amazing that feels when you're able to accomplish the dreams that you set out to do. So today's episode, I really wanted to dive into how you're going to travel in luxury and what does that look like. And so I came up with some creative ways to do that. So let's start with number 1. Number 1 is the fastest way to travel and get that luxury travel. So number one is you want to poll your audience. So if you have an audience right now, maybe on Instagram, maybe on Facebook, maybe it's a text message chain, maybe it's an email chain. You want to ask the audience what they want. So you really want to say, hey guys, if I were to create something, would you want to travel with me over here? And by the way, do you like beaches? Do you like mountains? Do you like, what else is there? Beach, mountains? I don't know. Do you like rocky places? Like, what area of the country do you like? And you're going to then poll them and see what they want. That's the first step. The second step is you got to determine what you want. So you have to go on and see, okay, well, how could I do this? What does that look like? Would I travel across the world? Would people travel across the world? Poll your audience. Would they actually go to a different country with you? And I'm asking this and I'm saying this because I want you guys to think about retreats. So not just treating one-on-one because, maybe you charge $200 a session or maybe $250. That's a lot of hours that you have to save up to go on a luxury vacation. Comparatively, if you do a retreat, you can get money fairly quickly. And it could also be your vacation. So I'm trying to hit a twofer here. And I want to say this too. People crave connections. They crave time away from their current environment. They crave time where they can think and heal themselves. And that to me is what retreats are about. Retreats are about being in different environments so that the brain opens up because it's not overwhelmed by all the stress of the day-to-day. And it's able to comprehend and think differently because the nervous system isn't as upregulated. And I think that's the benefit of a retreat and a retreat environment is you're able to think differently. And maybe new ideas come up that allow you to progress things in a way that you want. Maybe when you're at a retreat, you decide that day that you're going to change your entire life. And that's it, because you made a decision at that retreat, because you thought so hard, because you had a moment to think. That's huge, guys. That's what you want at a retreat. You want it to be life-changing. So my point is, the fastest way is creating a retreat in a place that you want to go to and your audience also wants to go to. And so what you do is you say, okay, how much is this room going to cost me that I need to rent out? So maybe it's going to cost you $500. Maybe it's going to cost you $1,000. So you got to know that price point. So once I know that price point, because, we do many retreats for PelviBiz, and they do cost a fair amount of money. Some of them cost me over $100,000. Some of them also don't cost me that. So it just depends. Depends on how big you want to go. But what I can say is you pick like a place, maybe in Mexico, so it's cheaper. And maybe you say, okay, for 3 days, I'm going to rent out this room and it's $2,000. Okay. So now I know I have to pay for the room that's $2,000. Then you want to look at how much is the hotel. Maybe the hotel for 3 days is, let me think, let's just say $200 a night, probably even less than that, but $200 a night, it's $600. So maybe the rooms are $600 for the whole week. So now you have $2,600 overall that you need to spend on the retreat. Now you also got to get there. So flights, maybe $500, I'm going to say. So let's just say that's $3,000 minimum that you need to make for this thing to be covered. So if you can create a way that you can get $3,000 to go travel to a destination that you've been wanting to go to, wouldn't that be worth it? So now you have to think about, how do I create an offer that allows people to get the experience that they want and for you to get your luxury travel. Okay. So I need to make $3,000 in this example. Okay. So now what do I price my tickets at for the retreat? So let's say I price the ticket at $1,000 each and I get 5 people there. 5 people come to the retreat. Doesn't that sound doable? It's not like you're like selling out a whole arena. 5 people come to the retreat. That's $5,000. Not only is my whole experience paid for, okay, but I also make $2,000 off of it. So if you absolutely love what you do, you could do a Con Ed class in Mexico or Cabo or whatever. Like, you could do a Con Ed class across the world. If you absolutely love what you do and you also want a vacation, this is the fastest way to have luxury travel that is paid for by not you, by someone else or by other people. And this is how you do it. It's thinking about offers that make sense for your audience and make sense for you, that integrate. I'm such an integrator of life and business and work, right? Business and life. I integrate my personal and business together. And when you integrate it, it is so aligning. I can't tell you how aligning it is. So yes, you may have to work for a day or two when you're on your luxury vacation. However, you also get your luxury vacation. So I don't know. Anytime I do go on vacation, I tend to work because I want to work. It's not like I have to work, but I want to work. And so I don't know. I just feel like it's a really good way of getting your luxury vacation the quickest without having to save for years and years and years. For me, we had to wait until I was like 35 to even leave the country. Comparatively, if my mom and I had these skills beforehand, we could have said, hey, we're going to start this business and we're going to do retreats, or we're going to do Con Ed classes in amazing foreign places. And that's what we're going to do. And people are going to come. Okay, great. Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to charge these tickets and people are going to come and we're all going to have a good time and they're going to get what they want out of it. And we're going to get to stay in these amazing hotels and have an amazing experience. That's how you cultivate life and work life into business. And that's how you make your dreams come true. But most people don't even have this idea of how to even do this because no one's taught this. And many people aren't actually doing it either. And I believe with the AI era here and coming very quickly, I believe these luxury travel / Con Ed courses / business vacations and retreats are actually going to be coming more on the forefront because I believe people are going to want more and more connection. And at these retreats, that's where they're going to get it. And they're going to get time to zone out away from their chaos and be able to cultivate something that really feels good for them. And I really do believe that this is going to be something people are going to pay a lot of money for. And so if you believe that too, great. Then maybe think about this way on how to help your audience not only get the results they're going for, but also do it in a way that's fun and not like a boring classroom style. This is ultimately, guys, why I created PelviBiz Retreat. PelviBiz was the first person ever in the healthcare space to create a actual retreat setting where you learn, but in a way that has activities. Like we did the cold plunge 3 years ago. We did the activities on the beach. We weren't in a classroom setting. So many people rented out conference rooms and classroom styles. And I knew that just wasn't my vibe. I rented out houses and I would put people in the houses and I would pay for everyone to stay in the house. And it was like a sisterhood. And we all got to stay together and be together and like live and work off of each other for like 3 days straight. Nothing beats that. Nothing beats it. You go home and you're on cloud freaking 9. You really are. And when you can create an experience like that, people remember you. People remember how that feels and they want more of it. I can tell you that. They want more of it. Now, the other way to do this I have is create a Con Ed class. Put it in a location that you want. Maybe ask a college to rent out space. Guys, like I live by UC San Diego now here, and I asked them to rent out a room for PelviBiz, and I can, which is great. So now I have ample amount of classrooms that they're willing to rent out for non-students. So that's amazing. You can charge $1,000 for the ticket. Remember, Con Ed courses are $1,000. Maybe you get 20 people there because many people need Con Ed. So maybe you get 20 people there. That's $20,000 in 2 days that you can make. Some of y'all don't even make that in a month. So do you see how I'm trying to also condense your time, but also be able to give people an experience and get you what you want? $20K in 2 days versus $20K in a whole month. Which one would you prefer? And you're making that $20K in an amazing setting that you picked instead of being stuck in a room one-on-one for 7 hours a day. Which one would you pick? I'm going to pick that way. I'm going to pick the $20K in 2 days way. Now, here's the longer way. The longer way this is the save your way kind of way. And this is when think about how to condense time. I think this is huge. So number one, this is the longer way, but you can do paid workshops for trainers. So you could charge $200 a person. And maybe I get 5 trainers from maybe a burn boot camp or, I don't know, Pilates gym or yoga gym. Now, that pays $1,000 for an hour. Guys, when you work a normal working day, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, if you work 5 hours and you charge $200 a session, that's 5 hours of your time. Would you rather work 1 hour of your time and do it for $1,000? That's what I would like to do. So I'm trying to condense your time. So you could do paid workshops for fitness trainers. The other thing is you can sell tickets for wellness, like a wellness week. So what I mean by this is many people don't think about this, but you could go around to many local businesses and say, hey, look, would you like to participate in a wellness week here in San Diego or maybe, where you live? And they're like, yeah, I would love it. Okay, great. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell discounted, I'm going to sell tickets. And in return, if you participate in Wellness Week, they're going to get a discount on any service that you would like to provide and put into the Wellness Week. So let's say I went to a cold plunge place and I was like, hey, could you give me a free cold plunge or give me 10% off the cold plunge if a new client comes in? Yeah, I could do that. Okay, great. They hand me the cards. They say 10% off, or they say a free cold plunge when you buy 3 sessions. Great. So I put that into my Wellness Week package. I then sell tickets to the Wellness Week, meaning I can sell tickets of $100, $200, and people will buy it because it's very valuable because it has all this free stuff in there that people can try without spending more money. So maybe it has a free yoga class in there. Maybe it has a free Pilates class. Maybe it has a free IV therapy. Maybe it has a free cold plunge session, right? And so people want to pay for that because they get all the things. They get it all. And so that is an experience you can give people, and you're the person that's cultivating that. So that's just another example. You sell, let's just say 50 tickets. I can't do math. Is that $5,000? That's $5,000. And you end up not having to do, yes, you do the work on the front end, but you're not providing the service on the back end. So that's really important to note. The next thing you can do is a speaking gig. You could speak about pelvic floor at a local conference, and speaking gigs, you typically can get paid anywhere between $200 to $400, guys, for the hour or for the gig. So that is something that just, again, it amplifies already what you're doing, and it's more money into your pocket. And this is the way that you save for your luxury vacation, because you're trying to do activities not only that condense time and build the wealth faster, but you're also knowing that you're saving this money to go on a luxury vacation. So these are kind of the different ways that are outside the box thinking of how you're going to get your luxury vacation and get your dreams to come true. And you can have your dreams multiple times. It doesn't have to be that one-off time. For me, when I went to Italy, it was that one-off time of like, wow, my mom, my sister, and I were actually able to afford going to Italy. And it was that trip of a lifetime because we've never experienced something like that. Because my mom worked traditionally. She was a school teacher. She worked at Chick-fil-A. She scrubbed toilets. She worked at my gymnastics gym at the front desk to like pay for my gymnastics. Like that was the only way back then to make more money. And in today's world, it's completely different. You don't have to have those 4 jobs. You just have to have different offers and learn different offers to make the offer get what you want and make the offer get what the people want. And you got to know what the people want, because when you know what the people want, you can create the offers that the people are actually going to buy, period. So hopefully this is helpful, guys. I really want to see you guys get your dreams met and go on that luxury vacation. So let me know if this is helpful in the comments. If you would like, please leave 5-star review and a review on the podcast. It would be super helpful so that more people get to know us and spread the word. And if you have any questions, you can @ us at PelviBiz on IG, and we'd be happy to answer your questions. Thanks, guys.